Go for it, Grandma. I don't know why I'm not seeing you. Welcome to this edition of WikiTree's LiveCast, hosted by Mags Galden. Thanks for joining us. Today we have our guest, Summer Orman, who's the leader of the Volunteer Coordinators Project for WikiTree, and we're going to find all about how to get hooked up with our projects, WikiTree projects. So that'll be a cool thing to do, to talk about. We're also joined today by Emma Macbeth, who is our WikiTree LiveCast moderator. Hello, Emma. How are you doing? I'm feeling the orange today. You are. You're wearing your new do-rag, which is orange, but you also have a moderator's beautiful orange Enjoy Genealogy WikiTree shirt. Yes. How cool is that? That's great. Extremely cool. It is extremely cool. Summer, how are you doing?
I am doing great. And down here in hot Texas.
Hot Texas. As opposed to hot Atlanta, which whole different kind of hot.
Yeah.
Hot. So we'll get right to this. And I wanted to actually say, when you first join WikiTree, you want to get involved in projects right away sometimes. I know that my impetus to join WikiTree was originally finding my fifth great grandfather Esley Hunt on WikiTree and finding that there was another family connected to his family, and so I had a project of my own to try and get that all straightened out and get them separated, and it was a really good way to learn my way around WikiTree. But what Summer does, and her peeps, and Julie Ricketts and her peeps, and all the peeps in the Volunteer Coordinators Project, is that they try and hook you up with projects right from the get-go. So I've got a slide presentation here, and we've also got some questions that we're going to put to Summer as we go, and so we'll have fun doing that. So let's start with the slide presentation right here, right now. WikiTree's Volunteer Coordinators Project, and of course we have WikiTree Bouncy Globe. And WikiTree, for those of you who don't know, it's a community of genealogists, or as we call ourselves, WikiTreeers, working together to grow an accurate single-family tree using DNA and traditional genealogical sources. Collaboration on WikiTree is for deep ancestors between distant cousins who are serious about genealogical research and careful about sources. And because WikiTree's profiles are connected on the same system, access is easy for anyone to discover their roots. So WikiTree does what we do best, and that is genealogical collaboration. Max, your slides aren't showing on the screen, on the main screen. Okay. That's because Summer got clicked somehow. That's okay. So you didn't have to see my beautiful slides. You all got to hear what I was saying. Fix those slides. Thank you, people in the chat letting us know. WikiTree's free. That's the other great thing about WikiTree. It's free. So on to the Coordinators Project. Summer, do you want to tell us what the Volunteer Coordinators Project is all about?
Well, what it's all about is, just connecting people with projects, and it's specifically the people who certify for the pre-1700. They have a little quiz that you have to go through in order to be able to work on profiles of people born before the 1700s. And that quiz itself just helps you understand how sourcing is done, things like that, because sources for those early profiles are harder to find. So, and then once you certify for that, the volunteer coordinators, we monitor who does that, and then we go and we try to start conversations with them and figure out what they're interested in, and and we go from there and recommend projects based on what their interests are.
And that's always a good thing. And like I said, I joined WikiTree, and I kind of got involved in my own little project right off the bat, which was fine. A little bit overwhelming, I think, but fine.
Yeah.
So the project coordinators, in the actual official information on the project pages, this project's all about bringing together WikiTreeers to help new members understand how to become more involved with the WikiTree community and get connected with projects relevant to their interest.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you go about doing that? Or what do you have to do to become, are there any prerequisites for this?
The main thing is just being a member for at least about 3 months, and then also having a basic knowledge of projects in general, what they are, how they work. And we say 3 months because typically if you're here 3 months or longer, then you're going to be at least involved in one project. And if not, then at least you have a knowledge of how WikiTree works.
So you can not only point the person to the project, you can help them if they stumble or if they're not understanding it.
Right.
And how to join is just going to the G2G thread, and we'll pull that up real quick.
Yes, you just go to the G2G thread and leave us a comment on there, an answer, and we will get you a badge and get you started and put you on the task list.
And I like the whole thing about project tour guides. And I asked Summer this question, and it was, if the project coordinators were a character on the 70s TV show Love Boat, which character would they be? Summer, did you ever figure out the answer to that?
No.
Emma, do you know the answer to that?
That's why she said she'd never seen Love Boat before.
No.
It's been so long since I've seen it that I can't answer that.
It's Julie, the cruise director.
Oh, yeah.
Do any of our people in the chat, did they get that?
Nobody said anything.
Nobody said anything. Okay, so I'm going to upvote this real quick. Oh, I'm not logged in. But hear ye. So, and it just, you got a lot of really great answers from Emma. Emma was the best answer. How many people? How many people are involved in the project right now?
We just lost a few people who just focusing on other things. So I don't know. Let me go look.
Yeah, check those badges. Check that badge list out. I have it written down somewhere. Obviously not right here.
Because some of the volunteer coordinator badges are for messengers, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, and see, it says 21 people, but not all of those folks are working on actual volunteer coordinator duties.
All right. Well, and we'll get to that. So also on how to join, adding the volunteer coordinators to your list of followed tags is really important.
I don't have any more tags left.
Well, then you have to get rid of, you have to cut off one of your family limbs, Emma. Just plain and simple. Just, do you have a part of your family you just don't, those people are really annoying? Just cut them right off. So volunteer coordinators, add the tag to your list so that you can get notifications from G2G and review the task list for the project, which is coming up right now. The task list for the project, you want to go through these real quick, Summer?
Yeah, it's just we have particular days where we do our duties, and on those days we monitor the feed of the people who you have certified for 1700
and for 1500, and you also review the volunteer feed for new people, and you go and look on the profile page for the new person, and you look at their list of tags to see if they have any interest, like like a surname project that somebody might have surnames listed as something they're interested in.
Yeah.
Do you ever have people who are brand new to WikiTree who want to start a project right away?
We don't. Yeah, that's not really something common that I've seen. No, we have a few, and it's usually wanting to start name studies.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So when you join the project, Summer or Julie will award you a spiffy volunteer coordinator badge and set up all the necessary permissions so that you can leave messages on people's profile pages. And this is something that Emma and I have discussed briefly is there a time limit on do you give people time to get accustomed to WikiTree before you leave yes, I did just add those to the list. And do you completely off, should there be a time before you ask people to join projects? Should we wait a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? Emma and I were kind of discussing this. Do you have any comments on not bombarding people with information right off the bat, or has that been an issue? Is this something that's an issue?
I think it has been an issue, and we kind of, now the way we're doing it, we've gone back to just on the actual volunteer coordinator part, not the messenger part, because that's different.
Right.
But on this part, we work that 1700 feed, and we do it to the people who had just certified the day before.
So that actually does so people aren't certifying for pre-1700 or pre-1500 as soon as they sign up. So
right.
That is giving you time. So is that the reason why the new volunteers aren't contacted as much?
I think that's going on to the messenger side. Right. And they do it in a certain, I think they do a 2-day, a 1 week, a 2 week, and they give out, they send out messages periodically, kind of introducing you to WikiTree, showing you what to do.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, and so how to join, add you to the volunteer coordinators Google group. They have a Google group that's
yes.
active, and to help you get comfortable with how to perform the tasks on their task list. And then what do project members do, Summer?
We leave those messages, and you know, we suggest the projects that people might want to join based on their tags. And if they don't have tags, we suggest that they add them, or we just try to find out what they're interested in. You know, sometimes I've looked at people's contributions and try to see what they're working on, and maybe I can steer them in the right direction. Like if they're working on profiles of people born in England, I can steer them to the England and the UK projects, things like that.
Nice. And then there's also answering new members' questions.
Mm-hmm. We get we get lots of that. A lot of times if we leave a message, they'll respond back with a question. Well, I think I might be interested in this, but I'm not sure. Do you have a project? Yes, we do.
So at this point, I wanted to pull up a G2G question that I saw in the feed. And this one was about the volunteer coordinators. And have you looked at the U.S. Southern Colonies project yet? And then it's from Dorothy Berry, and she says it depends on which parts of the colonies you're most interested in, what time period with colonial America. And Ellen, in her answer, she really breaks down a bunch of the really great projects that are going on that are in addition to the Southern Colonies project. That was a great posting. Do the volunteer coordinators kind of do these posts in G2G occasionally to try and drum up extra interest in the projects?
We can, but I don't think that's necessarily something that we're, supposed to do. That's not part of the direction. but that's a good idea.
All right. Well, I saw this and I thought, wow, that's a really good post. And not only is it a good post for the Southern Colonies Project, it's a good post for the William Penn Project and the New Netherlands Project and the Puritan Great Migration.
I'm wondering if that question is there because it came up that we all thought there was a Colonial New England Project, but there's not. And so we were trying to figure out, okay, how do we help people who are interested in several New England colonies?
Yeah, because we have a U.S. Southern Colonies Project, but we don't have anything, you know, the New England colonies. Now, I mean, we have all these like the PGM, New Netherlands, all that, but that's not specific to say, you know, the top level, the New England colonies.
Well,
so
in the New England colonies were small colonies to start with. So like the Hudson's Bay, or not Hudson's Bay, I mean Canada again, the Massachusetts Bay Colony or the Plymouth Colony, those were very small colonies. And for me, it's kind of hard to wrap your mind around watching them expand and looking at the boundaries of those colonies, how they expanded and how they grew. And it would be great to have a colonial New England or a pre-colonial or a colonial New England project. It would be really a good thing to do.
I think so, because we all keep looking for one and it's not there. So
no,
that means we need one.
Well, yeah, and it would be an umbrella project. It would be a top level project for all those other projects to fit into, which is what we did with the Southern Colonies Project. We took the Southern Colonies as they were at their biggest, earliest part, and we put all the projects into it. It's really worked out well. Really worked out well. The next one was finding their way through the project. Now, the Messengers Project, are they connected to the Volunteers Coordinators Project?
They are now.
Yeah, see, things have changed over the last few weeks. We've gone through quite a few changes to the structure and I mean everything. So yes, they are underneath the Volunteer Coordinator Project now, and they're the ones that I was saying, you know, they leave the periodic messages every week for the first few weeks and give you kind of a, like it says here, the guided tour.
The new member how to, and I'll pull that up so everybody can see it. And so that way they post.
That's something brand new that started about March.
Yeah.
For new volunteers.
And the Messengers Project are the messages that get left for the newer members, and works through the new member how to. See if I can pull that up for you real quick, which I think is just a great thing.
It's fantastic.
Yeah,
it's really helped boost our new members' abilities to work their way around WikiTree.
I wish that when I joined we would have had that. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, and the other really great thing, it's still loading, is that there's a search feature, and I'm not logged in. Sorry about that, y'all. There's a new feature. I'm going to log in. Everybody close your eyes real quick. Oh, really? It's not going to autofill? That's craziness. I don't remember my WikiTree password.
I know, because I'm never not logged in.
Same here.
See, I can't even log in. This is horrible.
You're going to get locked out.
I'm locked out. I can't WikiTree ever again. So here is that page, and we're going to get the ad. Let's just scroll down. And up here, there's a new search box that comes up on every help page that went into effect recently, and that is incredible. You can automatically go search for something else while you're on a page. That is a huge step. So, do you want to walk us through this page real quick, Summer?
Sure. Let me get back over there. Sorry. How to start climbing the tree. and it just gives you the task to become familiar with WikiTree. Am I doing what you want me to do next?
Sounds good. So
number 2, it tells you how to edit the profile. It just basically gives you, you know, it teaches you how to edit the profiles, what all the fields are. Number 3, joining in the community. It gives you a little bit of a tour around what all is available. 4, how to be a successful WikiTreeer, and that's basically introduction to all the things that we like, you know, the honor code and all that collaboration. 5, managing your watch list. Shows you where your watch list is, how to use it, and then dig a little deeper. Categorization, root search, error reports, and lots of that stuff.
And then on to the getting started with DNA. So you guys are kind of like the town criers.
Sure.
Then there's the other thing here, and basically the Volunteer Coordinators Project is just so cool, and I'm gonna keep that up for a bit. And then I want to ask you, Summer, personally, what discovery brought you originally to WikiTree?
Well, I was looking for some information on the O'Neills of Ulster. I had heard we were descended from them, and so I was looking for more information on them, and also more information on Abraham Shotwell, who was the oldest known ancestor on one particular line, and haven't been able to find anything else on him. He's a complete unknown, but he was the first, supposedly the first in America from that line. So he's a mystery.
He's a mystery.
Yeah.
And has WikiTree helped you to expand on that, or not at all?
Not for him, because he's just, no one can figure out. I mean, we've had family researchers looking on him for 30 years, and no one can figure out definitively where he came from. But now it has helped with other members of, you know, like his children and grandchildren and the direct lines of him. I have been able to connect a lot of these lines together, which is really cool.
And that is cool. And that kind of leads into the next question that I have for you is, what does it mean to be a volunteer on WikiTree to you?
For me, it means collaboration, being willing to work with others, being able to follow the guidelines and the rules. And because WikiTree is different, it's not just like Chris says, it's not a free-for-all. It's free, but it's not a free-for-all. And so it just means being able to work with others, and because, you know, people you can edit other people's profiles. We don't own profiles, so you have to be willing to understand others.
Yeah, be willing to understand other people might have a different way of working through something. And do you have any idea how the Volunteer Coordinators Project came about?
It came about, I think Julie told me, because it was before my time as a leader, but Julie said that it came about just by wanting to connect new people to projects, because it kind of just given a little bit of direction, you know, same function that it has now.
All right. Let's go on down here. Do you have any questions from the Volunteer Coordinator Project that gets asked in G2G a lot?
No, you know, that we really, it's mostly just what project has to do with whatever.
This. So,
yeah.
Yeah, okay. So people saying, is there a Colonial New England project?
Right.
That's, yeah. And we already talked about Julie, the cruise director. I do have, and I'm going to share this real quick, I do have the screen up for the information on projects, the helping. And I really think this is something that a lot of people don't see. And also, I'm logged in. Thank you very much. And you see the cool WikiTree search feature up here in the right-hand corner. But if you've ever wondered why we have WikiTree projects, and it's simply a project is simply a group of organized people that are around a single topic or activity. And since we all collaborate, collaboration depends on communication and coordination. And so projects were created to make it easier for members who are interested in the same kind of work, the same kind of profiles, to volunteer and work and to find each other, communicate and coordinate their efforts. So one of the most important purposes is topical projects, or projects covering groups of profiles, how to work out styles and standards for editing of those profiles, and to help everyone apply them. And it's been interesting being on WikiTree for the short time that I have, 4 years, is to watch how the styles and standards have morphed and grown as more people have given their ideas and brought in new information. It's interesting having new people join and having new ideas help the projects grow. And the other thing is that I don't think people understand the difference between project, sub-projects, and free profile projects as well. Can you expand on that a little bit, Summer?
Well, the projects are, well, they have leaders. There's got to be at least 2 leaders to a project now. And a lot of times you'll have the umbrella projects, which is, I'm one of the co-leads for the Slavic Roots project, which is an umbrella. And we encompass...
And an umbrella project is a higher level project.
Right, yeah.
Right.
And what it does is encompasses several of these sub-projects. And so under the Slavic Roots, we have Poland, Russia, I think Lithuania, even though it's not considered Slavic, we're still taking it under, and a couple of other things like that, Ukraine. But that's what it does. It just kind of, the project manages all of those, the ones underneath it, so like an umbrella. Go over the top and keep the little ones underneath. Right. And then the free space projects, those can be managed by anybody. They don't have to have a leader. Anybody can start a free space project at any time. And that's a lot of times how the big projects get started, is someone will decide, I'm going to start this project. And then if a leader decides, hey, we're going to expand this, come over here. And that's how it works. They turn into bigger ones.
And do you have to participate in a project to work on certain profiles?
Well, yeah, if the profile goes under a certain project, like for instance, we'll say celebrities, things like that, you want to be part of the project, because if you want to edit a celebrity profile, they have certain ways and things that you have to do.
So yeah, for like a notables especially, and notables is really important. Other people, if you don't need to be a formal member of the project or wear the project badge on your profile, just introduce yourself to the project leaders so they know that you're working on information. And the volunteer coordinators can help hook you up with a leader, right?
Right, absolutely. That's one thing we do. We try to maintain relationships, with the leaders of the projects. And so we can say, okay, you want to go to notables, you go to this person.
So if I was just a general WikiTreeer, how would I find projects to get involved in?
You can go to the volunteer hub, or the easiest way is to go at the top of any WikiTree screen, go to the Find, and then to Projects.
Let me do that.
The drop-down menu, Find and Projects.
And then Projects.
Mm-hmm.
Then you'd walk down the list of projects here that you'd like to join, and there are quite a few.
Oh yeah.
I use that list almost every day to find something I'm working on.
Yeah,
I do too.
61 projects, and then there are new projects and pending and dormant projects.
And there's sub-projects under some of those projects.
Oh, lots of them. And if you look on the project list, we were talking about hooking people up with leaders. The list of leaders is actually on the main project list page here.
It's not always updated on this list. It's most updated on the project page itself.
Now here's one, the Black Sheep project, which I'm really excited to do a live cast on whenever they're ready. The bootleggers and moonshiners, you see all these lists of people who are the Black Sheep listed people on that. That's fun. The Canadian History Project has tons of sub-projects.
And the U.S. History Project probably has the most.
Yeah. And I don't think they list that on the main page, do they?
Yeah.
I don't want to scroll so fast that I make somebody sick.
On the project page they do. There's too many to list here.
So do you know anything about project protecting? Do you ever have questions come up to the volunteer coordinators about project profiles being protected? Say that really fast 3 times first.
I don't think we have ever had a question about that as a volunteer coordinator. Honestly, I haven't. I've been coordinator and or leader for the project for a little over a year, and I've never had that come up.
And what's the difference between a topical project and a functional project?
Topical being based on topic, and functional would be like the greeters, the mentors that have a particular function. Volunteer coordinators, ours is to coordinate volunteers and projects. Greeters would be they greet people.
And do projects have a different standard style and standard that they follow than the rest of WikiTree?
No.
No. It's all the same?
Well, we have, different rules and guidelines within the projects, but no, WikiTree, we all try to follow the same guidelines and same rules.
Is there anything that you would like anybody to know about joining projects?
Anything personally? Projects is fun. They're fun. I think they're a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun on my projects. You get to work with people. That's the most important thing to me. You get to work with all kinds of different people.
And speaking of projects, are there any projects that you do outside of WikiTree?
Yeah, I do art. I am a mother. That's a project. I have 3 kids, and my husband. That's definitely a project. So yeah, that's what I do.
And if I'm not mistaken, isn't there some sort of art thing going on with you coming up soon?
Oh gosh, yes, next weekend. I'm really excited. I'm participating. It's called an art walk here, and I'll be opening up a little booth and displaying all of my art. I'm a little nervous.
But it's not, you have to actually apply and be accepted to be able to do that. So there must be some art in your fingertips somewhere.
Well, I don't know about that, but
I've seen some of her pieces and they're pretty awesome.
Yeah,
you've seen my Facebook, Emma. You've seen that.
Yes. Yeah. Very colorful. I love colorful art, and she does colorful stuff.
Yeah, up here on the wall behind me are all my things. And that's a clock. This is a clock. I made that out of an old record.
That's cool.
And it's an awesome reuse.
Yeah.
Recycling, reuse. And you already covered this, but what's your day job?
Mother and artist, and that's really all I do. That's all I have time to do right now. I'm going to be hunting for a job very soon because my youngest, he's 4, and he starts full-time preschool next month. So I'm going to be hunting for a job after that. And I am still working on my master's degree. I have 1 class left. So I'll be finishing that. Yeah, I'll start that class next month as well, and it'll take 8 weeks. And once I'm done with that, I'm done. So I'm going to be job hunting.
So, do you want to give us a rundown on your family and what you're about?
Oh my goodness, my family. They're the best. My husband, he's active duty military, and so
thank you for your service.
We're both from Nashville, Tennessee, and that's our home, but we've been here in San Antonio for 6 years. We actually went to the same high school, my husband and I, and we lived in the same neighborhood, but we never knew each other. I mean, we kind of, but not really. Yeah, it wasn't until about like 13 years later is when we met, and we met reconnected rather. And that was in March of 2010, and then we got married in July of the same year. And so now we're celebrating 7 years of marriage. It's wonderful. Now I have a 15-year-old son. His name's Jordan, and he's a gamer, and he's so smart. And then we have an 11-year-old daughter named Valerie, and she's going on 21. She thinks that she's a princess, and she's a model, and you know, she wears lipstick and nail polish, and completely not me at all. I don't understand it. I just let her do her thing. I wear makeup twice a year. So as a matter of fact, the last time I wore makeup, my kids asked me, "Are we going to a funeral?" That's not even a lie. That's true. Yeah, and then I have the littlest one, which he tried to come get in here and get in the video just a minute ago, but my husband grabbed him. And Thank you
for your service.
Yeah, right. Because he would have taken over the whole video. And he's got this big mop of curly hair, corkscrew, Shirley Temple curls, and big blue eyes. And someday I'm going to have to tell some little girl about who's the boss around here. And we also have a exchange student from Japan. She's coming next month. She's our fourth time to host.
Nice.
So I'm really excited about her. She is just the cutest thing. She's 15, and she is the cutest little thing in the world, and I just want to put her in my pocket. So,
well, don't do that. I don't think that's accepted.
No, probably not.
We're going to move on now and share some more WikiTree information with you. Let's see here. There we go. Couldn't get my screen up. We're going to talk about the WikiTree front page, which is just the basic wikitree.com page. And want to look at our numbers. We have 14,575,395 profiles, 437,634 genealogists share, edit, and work on those collaboratively together. The profile of the week this week was 4th of July. Paul Revere, of course, the man who rode his horse, warning of the British coming. And the photo of the week, I think that is so cool. Repairing a yoke. That's like a thing that you wear, that oxen wear.
Is that what he's doing? I thought that was a fish on his leg.
Or an eel. That would be more like an eel there. But yeah, that's just really incredible. You imagine how tough his hands are that he's working with that kind of leather. It's crazy. The member of the week is Jacqueline Girard, who is a very active Acadian Louisiana Families Project. And the challenge of the week is helping the U.S. and Canada celebrate their birthdays by being error-free. Have you been working on this, Emma?
I have.
And?
I've been working on the Canada 721 errors.
That's very gracious of you. Have you been working on these at all, Summer?
I'm sorry. I got to go. I've been not working on those. I haven't.
So, and you guys are keeping track. If you look down here, there's quite a few.
They just added a new feature where you can click right above there. It says real-time tracking results, and you can see who's. I may have lost my top 3 status.
Were you the top of the list?
I was. I try to stay in the top 5. But Natalie Trott really busted it out this month with a lot. I mean, this week. There was no catching her.
It's not wanting to open, so we'll let it load. Wait, there we go. Oh, it's some of Alish's work.
I'm still in number 4, yay.
Here we go.
Oh, not Natalie Trott, NJ Penny, I mean.
So, and tell me about this. It started when and it ends when?
It starts on Monday. Sometimes it doesn't start until Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on when Alish can get the error cycle completed. And then it finishes on Sunday evening, 12 Eastern time, I think.
And so you guys are working on different errors or all the same error?
Every week is a different challenge. Like last week, it was pick your vacation spot. And so, for instance, I was working on Haiti and then I ran out of errors, so I moved to Paris. And so it could be you're working on all different errors, or it could be like this time you're picking an error from either Canada or US to work on.
And what was your error?
I'm doing 721s. That's my data doctor error.
And what error is that?
That's naming errors. People put like parentheses and stars and all sorts of interesting things in the naming field, and I fix that.
Look at how many people are actually taking part. That's a lot of people.
I think some people are taking part and don't realize it because they're working on database errors anyway.
I'm trying to move this slowly so I don't make anybody car sick. Computer sick. LiveCast sick.
LiveCast sick. Chris Whitten's got 5. Go Chris.
Go Chris. Finally scroll up to the top here. So NJ Penny is at the top with 1,947. What were you going to say, Emma?
She started with like 1,000 on the first day. There's just been no catching her. So I'm not even, I decided not even to try. I'm just going to stay in the top 5. Thank you.
Did we have any questions pop up in the chat, Emma?
Nope.
No questions. Wait. What information do you bombard people with? Oh,
I already answered that.
I have question marks, but that wasn't a question. Oh, the Messengers is a new program just started in March for new volunteers. Somebody asked what the Messengers were, and yeah. So you guys have questions? Don't be shy.
So notice, Mags, up at the top in the pink where it says 5,921. That's how many errors from these categories they've pulled that we have wiped clean this. Not even in a week yet.
Yeah, no. So that's really cool. That's really cool. That's a great challenge. And I'm surprised, Summer, you're always up on these challenges.
Yeah, I have. This has been kind of a crazy week. I've been trying to get ready for the art show, and I've been doing double time in it, so I haven't been as active this particular week. But yeah, I love the challenges. I love them. And you know, talking about doing the error challenges, my favorite, I don't know what number it is, you'll have to forgive me, but my favorite is doing post-merge cleanups and JEDCOM cleanups. And
yeah, that's 811. I love doing those sometimes.
Yeah, I do. I love doing it because I think it's, you know, there are so many of them that even just getting 2 done is just like, it's a feat because there's so much JEDCOM junk. So
yeah.
So we'll move on to the question of the week, which I personally think is a great question and really has a lot to do with the Ambassadors Project. And that is, question of the week, how do you use social media to promote your genealogy? How do you use social media to promote your genealogy, Summer?
Well, first of all, I use Facebook. I'm the Facebook nut queen. I mean, I'm just on it all the time. I use it to promote my art. So, but before art, I use it to promote WikiTree, and I'm an ambassador as well. And I have a blog, and I love. I use the anniversary thing. I can't get out what I'm trying to say.
She's talking about this. If you go to your My Wiki list and you go down to the very first, let me pull that up for you. If you go to My WikiTree to the first item, it's anniversaries, and it gives you this month's birth, death, wedding anniversaries for your family. And here is a list of my family.
Yeah, I use that to do some birthdays.
Today, the 8th or the 9th?
The 8th.
So Betty Hester and Patsy Wood. Betty, happy birthday. Patsy, happy death. Simeon Lord got married in 1843. So there are lots. And how do you take this and use it, Summer?
Well, a lot of times, like for instance, one of my 3-time great-grandfathers, John Crockett Hudson, I think his birthday is June 18th or something. I always post something about him because he's my favorite ancestor. And so I'll use that to share his profile, and I will put a little blurb about him, you know, about his he was mentioned in an Asheville magazine once for something he did while he was in not Andersonville. It wasn't Andersonville. One of the Confederate prisoner camps. He was in there, and he made a really tacky comment, and it was hilarious, and I love to share that. And I use that, and then also another one of my ancestors, Samuel Claybrook Locke. He was a sheriff, and he was killed in the line of duty. This was back in the late 1800s, I think, and I can't remember off the top of my head. And he was gunned down in the line of duty, so I had put that. I shared that one time. So it's just fun sharing different things about your ancestors, and I've gotten several people into WikiTree. So, and I've actually met several relatives through WikiTree.
Well, you know, and I don't think that this question actually is specific to what do you do to promote WikiTree. It's what do you do to promote your genealogy?
Yeah.
Emma, Emma, do you have anything that you use specifically regarding social media to promote your genealogy?
Not to promote like my family genealogy. I promote genealogy in general. I started my own genealogy Facebook group, local people to chat about genealogy. And I have a blog, but I don't have anywhere where I can just talk about my own family genealogy other than WikiTree.
Yeah, I started a website, mgolden.com. I can bring that up real quick, for my family. And I started that years ago, years and years and years ago. And I tried to make it really simple for people to be able to find my family information. And what I have done is I've gone through this website. Let's see if I can find one that I've done for sure. I don't know if I've done the Galdens. Yeah, and you see that I've linked from this website. I've linked off straight to WikiTree. So I'm kind of hitting 2 birds with 1 stone, in that I'm promoting my own genealogy. And of course, this doesn't give any information but just the facts. And you can, all of a sudden, you can pop up over to his profile page from my website and see his WikiTree profile, which is just incredible. It's a really good use. So I use a website to promote my family, and I also blog about my family on my Grandma's Genes blog. I tweet sometimes. I don't tweet a lot about my own genealogy, but I do tweet. Excuse me. about my genealogy, and I use Facebook a lot. And I also lead on Facebook. I have, let's see if I can go there. I've got a Facebook group for the Macamoyle name study. And I've got, and that is a complement to the DNA project for the Macamoyles. So not only do I use social media to promote it, I use the DNA testing company to help promote my family or get my family information out there as well. So that's a good question. And let's see, Jeannie Roberts, who is an incredible help on the Native Americans project. She is an incredibly good researcher and such a good writer. And she is constantly writing blog posts when we have questions about whether somebody is a mythical indigenous character or person or a real character. And she does a lot of work writing and working on that. And that's promoting genealogy as well as WikiTree. And also, let's see, Doug Lockwood says he uses Facebook and a website. So he's got a family website. I believe we talked about that, his website, when we were doing the One Name Studies LiveCast. And Roz Hayward does websites and blogs. She also is active in the Surname Society. So the Surname Society also helps her, Roz, to promote her family stuff. I think the funniest answer on here is from Jay Crook. It says that she's completely and utterly embarrassed about her, and I'll enter in here my editorial comment, her level of interest in genealogy, so she would never consider promoting it, meaning that she's probably got an addiction going on like the rest of us. Facebook, and this is Debbie Hogan. She's talking about the anniversary prompts that you were talking about as well, Summer.
Yeah.
Facebook.
Some of us have talked about starting a WikiTree addiction group.
Yeah. WikiTree is definitely something that you can get involved in and get lost in. I get lost in WikiTree all the time. I should just go ahead and paint the walls of my office orange so that I'm just in the WikiTree mode constantly every day.
If you need painting, I'll come help you.
Well, and you do have an orange piece on the wall behind you, your clock, and the other one.
Yeah, well, the other one is here.
That's a good one. That's some of Summer Orman's art that will be in the show coming up in the week. I want to make an announcement real quick, unless we have any questions.
No questions.
No questions. I wanted to make an announcement about next week's WikiTree live casts. This coming week will be the Adoption Angels Project, and Eowyn Langoff, our resident forest elf, will be in to host that live cast, and Emma will be here as usual doing the moderating for Eowyn and for you guys for the live cast. Bring your questions and bring all your adoption information and ask questions and enjoy that live cast. Eowyn will also be hosting the next week live cast, which will be on all of WikiTree's challenges, how they're going, where they're going, how they came about, how we can keep Emma from winning them, whatever we need to do in that. And Emma again will be here for both of those. And also
win them all.
Yeah. Also, well, we have to talk to Lucy Lavelle about that. Emma will also be a good person to have in those live casts because she's a part of both of those projects. She is an adoption angel, and actually before the live cast we were talking about one of her great puzzles that she's got going on, and she was discussing it in the live chat that is going on. There is a live chat going on in the background that we're watching as well. Michelle Wilkes just said that next week's Adoption Angels live cast sounds good to her. I unfortunately, or fortunately, I think it's a fortunately, I won't be able to watch the live cast because I will be in an incredibly remote section of the world and unconnected for 2 weeks. So you won't see my lovely face on your LiveCast screen. Instead, you'll see the beautiful bouncy face of Eowyn Langolf as your host. So that's for the next 2 weeks coming up. I've got one more question for you, Summer.
Oh no.
What is your favorite color?
Red.
Summer, what's your favorite
It's
color?
orange.
Oh, you people always doing this to me. I want to say thank you so much, Summer, for being here, and always to Emma for being a part of the LiveCast and moderating. Great that you took that job, and Summer said that to you when she logged in. So thank you very much, Emma, for being our chat moderator for these LiveCasts. And she's got the t-shirt to prove it. And so we're going to sign off, and I'll see you guys in 3 weeks. You'll see Eowyn and Emma for the next 2 weeks. And I'm going to log off and say happy WikiTreeing and WikiTree on, and have fun. Let's get this up here. And we will leave as soon as I can get my ducks in gear.
Music.